Yes, people, welcome back to Weird and Wonderful. Today we are going to just be previewing some of the weekend's fixtures, but also taking a bit of a look at some of the fixtures from this week. But before we jump in, you got to do the little intro boom, innit? Yeah, now this formality's out of the way. Yeah, Ishmael, what are you telling me, man? How are you feeling? It's been a bit of a busy week for you.
Listen, we just
another place to start.
Little impromptu thing in it because obviously I feel like I got a lot to get off my chest this week, man. I got a lot to get off my chest. Boy, where to start, man? Last night's game felt like an L, to be honest. Like
it was a bit of an L though, really. It was an L in everything but apart from actually being an L.
Like I tweeted as soon as Zaki got sent off, I was like, if you lot think that we're gonna just get like an easy 2-3-0 win, then you got another thing coming. I think a stat came out like at the end of the game. We think we played like 600 minutes this season against teams with 10 men, and we scored like 3 goals, 2 of them were penalties. So we've had this problem of breaking down low blocks for the longest time, pretty much. We thrive off chaos, innit? We thrive off teams either playing out from the back or trying to match us toe to toe in terms of intensity. Like for the last couple of seasons, we got better this season in parts, but the last couple of seasons, that's been our sort of Achilles heel. We come up against a team against a low block side. You kind of know what's going to happen. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be sideways passes. It's going to be spamming crosses in. It's going to be lack of creativity in the middle of the park, and it's going to be disappointment eventually. So for me, last night's game wasn't too surprising. The result is a bit annoying, really, to be honest. If you look at the next leg's, obviously not going to be at Anfield. We lost that home advantage. We had a one-man advantage yesterday. Didn't capitalise on it. It's just dead, man. Tactics were dead. Subs were dead. His performance was dead. Finishing was dead. Like one, do we even have a shot? I think we had one shot on target. Like
one shot on target.
I don't even know if we had one in the end. I'm not even sure because that Minamino one obviously skied that at the end, and I know we didn't have a shot on target for like 85 minutes. So I can't even say that with my chest that we had a shot on target. So bro, yeah, it was dead, man. It was dead.
But
what can I say?
Before we get into the Minamino miss. Where did you expect when they went down to 10 men? Where did you expect the game to sort of were you expecting it to be as tough as it turned out to be?
Yeah, bro. Like, I thought we might get a little 1-0, like maybe a penalty or something, but I did not think we were going to start carving them open for fun. I've been watching us play all season, innit? I didn't. Well, that's harsh. The last few weeks I've been watching us play. We've not really looked like we're going to score loads of goals against anyone, even when at 11v11. We all know sometimes it's harder when you're playing against 10 men. Arsenal basically playing 4-4-1 like the rest of the game. They weren't really trying to get forward. You can even say that they had the best chance of the game through Saka. So like, I saw yesterday just a culmination of what I've been seeing for like the last few weeks, really, man. It's just been disappointing. And I can't even say now that this Carabao Cup's like a dead, like, it's just a Carabao Cup. This is looking like one of our better chances. Not the best chance, but it's looking like one of our better chances at silverware this season. So we fumbled last night, man. We fumbled. I wasn't happy at all. So again, some performances like, bro, Hendo. Like I don't know if you watched the game. There was he was trying to lay it off to my man at the edge of the box. I think it might have been Minamino. Man, literally looked it over his head. I was like, what are you doing? Like Minamino's all trying to volley it from like shoulder height. I was like, fam, like. It just summed up his performances for the last 3-4 weeks. Him and Milner midfield together. I can't see that again for the rest of the season. Like we're gonna have to find a new combo in there. Whether we go to a 4-2-3-1, drop Bobby in the 10, or just persist with Ox, who's not even really showing too much. The only saving grace yesterday was Curtis Jones when he came on, looked bright, and we've not really seen much of him this season. Obviously, he had COVID and eye injury as well. He looked bright when he came on. Everything else was just dead, bro. It was all just dead.
Are you a bit worried about like Liverpool's fortunes without Mo Salah in the pitch?
Yeah, yeah, of course I am. Like, listen, if he slapped an extra 50k on his contract demands after last night's game, still pay him. I don't care if it takes it to 450, 400, whatever it is. Just pay.
What do you reckon the offer's on the table? What do you think the offer on the table
apparently, he's asking for 400 in it. He wants the KDB cash, and like to be honest, He deserves it. For me, there's not really a figure that you can put on the table that he can put on the table. You can be like, nah, he doesn't deserve. Like, obviously, there's within reason, but if he's asking for 400, if he's asking for 450, he deserves it. Not only does he deserve it, what are we going to go out and replace him with? Say we get like a little 90 M's for him in the summer, a little 100 M's.
Bowen, innit?
What are we going to... Listen, I want Bowen in addition to Salah. I don't want him plus Salah. We've seen already with FSG, when it comes to them getting large sums of money, they don't really know how to spend it too wisely. The Coutinho one was the only one where you could be like, all right, cool, you done your thing there. Got Van Dijk and Alisson. But we sold Suarez, bought a bag of man. None of them stayed at their club for like more than two seasons, I don't think. So we can get the money. FSG can be like, yeah, cool, let's cash in. But when you cash in, what then? Clubs know you've got.
It's in his final year, right after the summer.
Bro, he needs to sign ASAP. If he go into the end of the season, he's not signed, then
would you just? But then.
Fam, I think just keep it. I think just keep him, let him go for free. Like, what, you're gonna get 60 million for Salah, and then what? And then like you don't have him for a season. You might as well just milk the cow until there's nothing left, man. Like, honestly, it's bleak. He needs to just sign it. I'm hearing Klopp saying that it's nearly done. It's the complicated deal. Then I'm reading that Salah's running out of ways of telling FSG that this is what he wants. Like, someone's lying in it, and I like to think it's not Klopp, but I don't know. It's not looking good. His time's ticking, fam.
I think Klopp's probably putting a positive spin on what has been a protracted contract talks. It's not on the same level as Pogba, because obviously Salah's not got Mina Raiola as his manager, isn't it?
As well. Salah wants to stay, man. He's got FSG by the balls right now. He said, I want to stay. Man even said, I'm not even asking for too much money. He said, my demands aren't crazy like that. Just FSG is being tight. He's got us by the fucking cojones right now. Like, we all know, Liverpool fans, we know that if he goes this summer, or if he goes on the free next summer, bro, FSG got blood in their hands, man. That's as simple as that. We cannot be letting this guy go for any just period. We cannot let him go. Like,
it's a bit worrying from as a Liverpool fan, isn't it? Like, the fact that you've clearly got one of the, if not the form player in the world right now, and you can't tie him down, even though he's not like he's trying to force a move. He's happy to stay. It's just FSG refute. Like, that's, for me, that is a mental thing. Because I feel like at Man United, especially, like, players leave because they want to leave. They don't.
Yeah. You man just
never money. It's never
just like
money.
Contracts. Like, or you want 375 bags. Cool. Say no more. You man just put the money on the table. Like, obviously, United aren't a well-run club. Like, you can definitely make a point for us being better run than you are. But there's certain times where you just listen. As Rihanna said, pay me what you owe me. Yeah. Don't mess about. Like, he'll go. PSG won't two ways about just giving him 500 grand a week. Like, if
it's a free deal, especially if it's under 100 million that they're signing him for,
he's gonna be making big racks. But he wants to stay in it. The only thing that's in our favor is that the Spanish clubs are not really, like, Barca aren't really in a great position at the moment. They can't even register certain man. Madrid look like they're going for Mbappe, so that kind of clears the path in that sense. I don't think Salah's going to go to another Premier League team, if I'm being honest. I can't see him going to City or Chelsea, or back to Chelsea, I should say. That kind of leaves you with, like, where, like, it seems like we've got a clear run at this contract talks, and we're still managing to fumble it after, like, I think this has been going on since the beginning of the season. So, bro, let's talk about something else anyway, man. Like, this is jarring, isn't it? Like, it's long. I don't know what we can say as fans. If he wants to stay, we want him to stay. He's not asking for mad sums of money. Like, I think he's worth 400 grand a week.
Easy.
He's not showing any signs of slowing down either. We just flipping signed Van Dijk to a 4-year deal. Man just turned 30. Hendo got a 4-year deal. He just turned 30. Like, what's the? I don't know. It's a bit
worrying because it's obviously that's the thing with what Klopp said. He was obviously commenting on the fact that these deals take long and, like, you can, like, it's a complicated one, but you've managed to secure a lot of the, like, Alisson's got a long-term deal, Van Dijk, Jordan Henderson, like you mentioned, but you can't get this, the one that's the most important out of all of them. You can't get him to sign a contract. You can't give him what he wants. That'd be a concern for me if I was a Liverpool fan.
I can see why we left his one till last, innit? Because if we slap down 400 bags for Salah straight away, then other man might start being like, okay, cool, let me get another little 10, 20 grand on my contract. So it made sense to leave him to the end. But it's taking too long now. Like it's taking too long. We're in 2022. Like I can't be seeing this carrying on all for the rest of the season. Like I can't, bro. Like it's almost one of them ones where like I said, if it gets to summer, we're gonna have to sell him really. Like for what FSG will think we're gonna have to sell him. I just think you keep him till he's got to go, man.
But how do you replace him?
As Pep said, we cannot replace him. We cannot replace him. We cannot replace him.
But yeah, let's
replace the Bury yet. To be fair, they're doing up madness with no striker. Like it's all mad for them.
Yeah, I mean, but let's move on to the title of this video.
Yeah. Let's because we're both our clubs.
We got a bit of shit to top up, especially so we're talking in particular about the Cristiano Ronaldo interview that came out on Sky, not just the 1 minute 17 video you get on Sky Sports. I'm talking about the 21 minute full interview. And you know what? It's a peak one to take. Not to take, sorry, it's a peak one to hear because you're like, fuck, this is bad.
Actually,
like,
as bad as I thought it was.
It's bad. But the one thing has given me some sort of semblance of solace to take from this match, from the interview. Cristiano Ronaldo is not looking to leave. He's invested in this sort of challenge, and he's here to return the standards back to this club. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, like it seems like some of these players just don't want to work hard enough. They like we keep seeing ex pros coming out, seen Patrice Evra coming out, but ultimately what they keep going back to is the fact that it's a privilege and an honor to be playing for Man United. Some of these players don't seem to be feeling that right now, and I think especially with the performance of Rashford against Villa, it was, for me, it's a sign that we've got some work to do in restoring. See, I thought Ollie had done a good job in restoring the culture of this club, but it seems like we've taken a backward step since he left, which I'm not too sure exactly where that comes from. But no, to be honest, I was happy to hear what Cristiano Ronaldo said. Seems like he's trying to return the standards back to the club. He's got the professionalism as well. He's questioning why players aren't staying back after training. Why it's only him and a couple of other people doing like pre-workouts, post-workouts. Also, just setting the standards, man. Just setting the standards.
What do you put that down to? Because
not everyone's Cristiano Ronaldo. That's what we have to remember.
Yeah. Obviously, not everyone's gonna do like madness like that. But at the same time. And listen, I've never been a professional footballer, never been close. But you can see like you man are not performing well on the pitch, innit? Like it's like any job. If you really give a fuck about the job, innit? If you're not doing well, the number one thing you can always fall back on is like just putting extra effort in. Like it doesn't really look like a lot of men want to be there right now. And
it's the burden, it's the responsibility, it's the pressure of Man United. And some people aren't made out for it. And like I keep going back to it, and like the whole trouble we've had with managers, it seems like I don't know, it just feels like Man United is this unique fucking like problem that like some players just can't hack it. Managers who've done it before in the past can't seem to come in and make an impact. So do you know what? It's a weird one, but I feel safe knowing that Cristiano Ronaldo, at least in his head, is trying to set standards, being like, we can't drop. This Man United, we're not finishing less than third. We're not accepting that. I will not accept that. And to right now, the fans are getting to a point where we're accepting this.
Bro, I'm telling you now, you're not finishing top 3 this season. So he needs to, as much as I'm like, yeah, cool, I can kind of ride with what you're saying. He's got to check himself a little bit because you ain't finishing top 3. I'm like. I don't think that's what he's going to say, but to be fair, if Ronaldo said we're finishing top 3, I believe him. But I think what he's trying to say is that we shouldn't be accepting anything. You can't be like scraping 4th on the final day of the season and doing up like flipping like shirt off and team photos and that. And like he definitely will not be having that. He'll be locking off the cameras in the changing rooms if that goes down. But
something I do want to. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, do you think that could be kind of how it all falls apart? Because he's come in with like. This is what I'm used to Fergie way. Like it's top 3 or we just don't even acknowledge the season. If you don't finish top 3 and pick up silverware, we don't even acknowledge the season as like anything. Eventually, do you think it's gonna get to a point where he's like, I can't do this shit on my own? Yeah. We say you finish out the top 4, I can't see him staying. I cannot see him sticking around after this season if you don't get Champions League football. Man's going to be 38 and playing Europa League.
No, it's 37. He'll be 37. He's still 36. Everyone keeps adding the year to his age.
He's been moving recently.
He's looking a bit. You know what? I think I like the fact some of the words he some of the things he was saying, like it was like sometimes you just have to destroy something to rebuild it. And I was like, first of all, how many times are we going to destroy this club and rebuild? Like, I thought at the start of the season we were there. We didn't need to rebuild no more. We just did a couple little additions, couple furnishings.
Bro, that was a narrative. A couple more signings. DM, and that's it. Top. That's what
we're in a bit of a transition. But when you're referring to like the professionalism, like or Fergie days, like what he used to encounter, what like Man United was about. I think the fact that there are these players out there, like the fact that he cites players and says, look, there's like the younger players, they don't take criticism as well.
Who do you think he's referring to?
I don't know, but I'd like to think
the South London, like the little South London attitude. He's not really feeling it.
I don't even think he was not necessarily trying to dig anyone out from the Man United squad. I think it was more of a comment broadly about like the younger generations, isn't it? He was referring to his own kids and stuff in that conversation, in that interview. So I don't know. Look, I think there's obviously players that need that should be looking at Cristiano Ronaldo and like just trying to absorb everything. Like those are the players that will go far. Those are the players that will make it at Man United. The players that look at Cristiano Ronaldo as an example and try and follow that example. But I think there's a lot of there'll be a lot of players that ultimately won't be successful at Man United because of that. But yeah, I just wanted to comment on that on the Cristiano Ronaldo interview because I think despite it being quite like
damning, really, isn't it?
Damning, yeah. Ultimately,
it kind of confirmed what we all sort of knew. Like he's saying the standard is on his arse right now. He's not. I think he's probably been surprised of like not how bad you lot, but probably how bad you lot are, isn't it? Because big
the challenges, isn't it?
Yeah, we all thought that, like we said, beginning of the season. All right, I was never really with Ollie as a manager, but the squad looked like it was nearly there, innit? You look like you just a couple signings away from maybe not being champions, but at least being like solidly top 4 and in and around the title race. Like,
I still think we're a defensive midfielder away from having Pogba with a DM in that midfield rather than Scott and Fred. That like despite the fact that they put in some decent performances, both of them, I just honestly still do not think that to play that position, those guys are the best suited.
Long term, these men have can have one good game out of 5, but we're really trying to see 4 out of 5 in it. That's if you don't want to have serious title aspirations, then it's consistency in it. Because you have done good, you have had great results under Ollie, under whoever, like, but over the course of a whole season, you always end up doing some funny things, be it in the Champions League getting bumped out of the group stages or like go on a mad losing runs where you shouldn't be. To be champions, consistency is like probably the most important word. You need to just be going in week out, but that's the mentality, isn't it? But I don't know, man. I feel like we said, the back of that interview kind of just confirmed what we already knew. But listen, as you said in the title, what are you trying to see? Are you trying to see the armband go to him full time then, or?
I think he's the only lead. Well, he seems like he's the leader at the club. Like we're not going to get Maguire coming out and speaking in with the same energy. Do you know what I mean? Because he just doesn't.
I'm not here to do analysis. I said I don't want to be here.
Yeah, bro. He doesn't command the respect that Cristiano Ronaldo does in the dressing room. Do you know what I mean? So, I think for me, he should be the captain of this club. Like without a doubt, he should be. He is the captain in everything apart from the title itself. Do you know what I mean? So,
who's your vice captain? I don't even know who you're like. What's your like?
Bruno and Cristiano Ronaldo, both of them are vice captains. Like CR7 had the captaincy against Wolves. Bruno had it the week before, I think.
In the Villa game, I think. I'm pretty sure he had that armband on against Villa. Still out on it. It's Lindelof.
I know Bruno had it against Villa, I think.
Yeah.
Ronaldo wasn't playing, but no, I think compared to the players that our current captain at Man United, there's
I don't even want to say his name like that.
There's no comparison. Do you know what I mean? There's no comparison. But I want to let's move on. I want to kind of touch on Ralph Ragnick's press conference as well and some of the things he said. In particular, I just want before we jump into like Donny and Dean and Donny van der Beek and Dean Henderson looking for moves.
Apparently Hendo was asking for a loan move, isn't it? Which is kind of
I think which I think he should do. I think I just wanted to comment on what Ralph was saying about some of the teams he's been coming up against and how he wasn't surprised about the Premier League, but he was surprised at the intensity and the tactical astuteness of some of these clubs. Do you know what? I agree with the statement, but it's a hard one to take. It's a hard one to take because some of the teams we played against, Norwich in the relegation zone,
I was waiting for you to roll them off.
Newcastle in the relegation zone, Burnley, we beat them 3-0.
He played no big teams there. He played no big teams there. Not one.
We played Wolves, the only team in the top 10, and we get beat. So I don't know if it's tactical astuteness. I don't know if it's like the physicality of it. But I think look at yourself. It's more Man United's failings rather than the teams doing well. The teams being tactically astute. Because I mean, I'd argue that across the continent, teams are probably more tactically astute than in the Premier League.
That's what I was going to say, bro. I watched all three games. I didn't see any masterclasses from Newcastle, Burnley, or Wolves. They all played their same normal setup, and they just played well on the day in it. Like, obviously, you beat Burnley, but Burnley do the 4-4-2 thing. They've been doing that for the longest. Wolves counter attack, 3 at the back. Like, it's kind of I didn't really see anything that I didn't see before. And if you just watch the Premier League, you should be knowing how these teams are setting up. Really, like, so I'm a bit surprised by that one. But
me too, bro.
You made a good point about intensity. I think that's probably more what he might have been trying to get at. Because I don't know, maybe like unless you see it firsthand, maybe you're not ready for how ready the other teams are. But like you said, bro, you're meant to be big in Man United, man. It shouldn't really matter what other teams are doing. Like,
I'm not hearing that, bro.
Like, speaking of, like, related back to Klopp, one of his biggest flaws at times, but also his one of his greatest strengths is that we got our philosophy. We don't really watch what the other team are doing more time. Like, we play our way. Sometimes he should deviate a bit better, but at least I know how my team's gonna play pretty much week out. And I feel like you need to kind of get that sort of identity almost.
Well, I can tell you the formation. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe formation-wise, I don't know if we'll be playing 4-2-2 or if we'll move back to a 3. Because it looked like against Villa we did better with a 3 at the back, and the same thing goes for Wolves as well. We look better with a 3 at the back. So I think maybe Ralph's coming to terms with the fact that 4-2-2 might not be the go-to formation for us.
Not with this personnel anyway. Like, I don't.
No, exactly. Especially not with the personnel. But just quickly before we move on to the sort of preview and the fixtures ahead this weekend, just wanted to talk about Donny van der Beek and Dean Henderson, and yeah, man, free Donny, because do you know what? I don't think it's Ralph Ragnick's fault per se. I just think Donny van der Beek should have got game time way before Ralph Ragnick arrived at Man United, and I think the lack of game time, the lack of chances to develop his game, to sort of get settled into the Premier League, to try multiple positions hasn't been frequent enough. And so now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, let's just sell him. Let's just sell Donny, because for his career, I want him he should be playing at the World Cup. He shouldn't not be at the World Cup. Louis van Gaal is not going to be picking Donny van der Beek if he's not playing regularly for Man United. And the same goes for Dean Henderson, who I'm sure wants to go into the World Cup at the end of the year as well. He needs to be playing first team football. There's no point him coming in for the cup games when we're only in the FA Cup. What development is he going to get? He's not playing Champions League football. He's not going to be playing the big Premier League games. He needs to go out on loan. He's 24 years old. He should be out on loan. Just send him on a 2-year loan. What like a smart club would do is swap him on loan to a club that we want to buy a player from. That's the smart stuff we'd be doing. Donny van der Beek as well. We shouldn't have signed this guy. Like, I don't understand why we're signing players as a club rather than signing players for a manager, because it's clear that Ollie didn't want him. and it's clear that he's not getting the game times that he wants either. So it's getting to the point right now where it doesn't make sense him being at Man United. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So I think Donny needs to go for the sake of his career.
I feel like if Ten Hag comes in, for example, bro, you know Donny's getting chances from the get-go. I feel like if Potts comes in, he's getting chances. It's just, for me, as much as Donny's probably like angling for a move away, and rightly so. If I'm Man United, I've got a £40 million asset here who could be a 70 million.
More than I thought. 40 million was a bargain.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he could be an 80 million player. Like, he's got that sort of. I don't even want to say potential. He's already shown that he's levels, man.
But he's played Champions League semi-finals. Like, he's not some.
I'm almost starting to think that, like, all right, Ollie, you can say he was just lost in it. He didn't really know what he was doing. But for Rangnick to not be rating him, or not rating him, but not really giving him a chance either, it's a bit mad. Like, what are they seeing that we can't see? Because I can't even hear that he's not used to the intensity of the Premier League. Because I saw him for Ajax in the Champions League, mainly in the Champions League, putting himself about. I've seen him in the Prem when he comes in. He doesn't look like he's some little who's getting bodied off the ball and that. He's putting himself about. That Watford cameo that he put in. Bro, that was like a good solid. That you can't tell me that's worse than McFred. That's the thing as well. It's not like you've got two fucking world beaters ahead of him who are just bossing in midfield. It's not working in midfield. That's probably your biggest problem area. Like, I don't understand how he can't get a chance. Like, for me, it's just so weird. I'm crying out for a Donny right now. If I can get a Donny in my midfield, let me see that.
Yeah, well, I think I was hoping kind of when Ralph came in that Donny could suit Man United's new sort of style of play, similar to the Ajax philosophy, sort of direct football, pass it forward where you can, press high. Like, I thought that would reflect in like Donny's sort of game time, but it hasn't. And yeah, like, I hear that point. Like, if we get the right manager in the summer, will Donny get more game time? Possibly. But then I thought the same about Ralph. I thought the same about
Donny's point of view as well. Like, you can't wait for another manager. Man can't wait for 3 managers to come in and be like, oh, I might get some games ahead of McFred. Like, maybe if I'm lucky. Like, bro, if I'm Donny, from like a personal pride point of view, I'm belling my agent. I'm saying, get me out of here ASAP. I'm hearing rumors of Newcastle. I'm not probably on that if I'm him, but that's a bit long. But anywhere in the Prem, anywhere, just get me out of it, man, because this has been flipping.
See Juventus potentially coming in for him, but without trying to listen to like a transfer story.
They're looking to get rid of Ramsey, innit?
Yeah, and also I think they're looking at Martial as well. But anyway, let's not spend too much time talking about transfers. I just thought it was an interesting press conference from Ralph Rangnick. Disappointed in some of the questions. I thought he could have done. The journalist could have asked him about what's his name, Zakaria, some of the midfielders and the players that we've been linked with. So that's what I want to know, if there's plans to invest in this squad, or if we're looking to.
Everyone's been very quiet this January, man. It sounds like a very quiet window. No one's made any signings apart from flipping Chris Wood. Like, it's a madness.
Yeah, and that's 25 million. That's just absolute madness.
Villa doing bits as well with
Coutinho. Well, I mean, that takes us nicely.
That's Stevie G juice, but yeah, like that
takes us nicely onto let's preview. Let's preview the Man United Villa game. Should we go Villa Man United first?
Yeah.
Oops, sorry about that.
You went at home.
It kind of works. So yeah, guys. We forgot to do a bit of housekeeping. So people, if you're joining us now, make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing, retweeting us across all platforms. We're on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all of the good stuff. So make sure you're staying subscribed and tuned in for our latest content. But yeah, let's move on to the game at Villa Park this weekend. We saw a bit of a dress rehearsal of it in the FA Cup this week. Was it Monday? Yeah, it was on Monday.
Yeah.
Coming out 1-0 winners. With a Scott McTominay header, Fred assist, which I didn't think I'd ever be seeing that combo leading to a goal, but we did, and so yeah, let's jump into this. I think I'm curious as to how we're going to be setting up our team, because I think, like I said earlier, the 4-2-2 isn't necessarily the right formation for this squad of players. Hoping we've learned our lessons from the second half, and we might go to a back three. I think that is probably a similar realization that Tuchel came to when he came to England. Albeit he just found he clocked it a bit quicker than Ralph has. But yeah, Stevie G will be at Villa Park. He'll have the whole Villa Park behind him. Obviously, massive rival for Man United. So the crowd should and I expect them to get massively behind Stevie G. But yeah, Ishmael, how do you see this game going? As soon as we've had a bit of a taster as to how this could happen, and Aston Villa completely dominated that match. For me, anyway, we had moments, but the Villa should have won that game. They were the better team, and this is a bit of a pattern for Man United. Do you see that tide changing, or do you reckon it's just gonna be more of the same? Man United will be lucky if they get anything from this.
Well, if you play like you did on Monday, like it might be like a little whitewash thing. Like they obviously they had a couple offsides, that VAR disallowed goal, which I'm still not really 100% sure on, to be honest. I don't think Cavani was getting to the ball, but anyway, it's done.
Whoa. So, wait a second, because I was spitting feathers at the time. I was like, that is not football. That is rugby. Like you can't.
That's
or
not a foul,
basketball.
bro.
That's a screen. You call that a screen in basketball. You're not even trying to get to the ball, and he's offside. And he's offside while he's doing it. It's just dumb. Like it's obviously planned as well.
I don't think he was getting to the ball for starters.
No, well, he probably wasn't, but you could have challenged for it, right?
That VAR thing, I swear they were looking at that. Were they not looking at an offside first? And then they start. Since when does VAR look at multiple things at the same time? I swear they're
looking for reasons to not give the goal in it.
For me, that was a very, very dodgy decision. But anyway, the game kind of panned out.
But if that happened to you, do you not think that's a foul? He's blocked like Ramsey's not even trying. He's just blocked my man, and he's standing in an offside position as well. Like that's if that goal is allowed, just think of the precedent it would set in the Premier League. Taking players out, but you're offside. You won't get into the ball anyway.
It wasn't anywhere near the ball. Like Cavani wasn't getting to the ball. For me, that was a very, very soft decision. But anyway, the game carried. There still wasn't enough time to get goals back in the game. I think Villa played very, very well, man. I was impressed with them. Only thing was the finishing, but I can see similarities of how the Liverpool-Leicester game went a couple of weeks ago, where we were lucky to get a win, went through penalties in a cup, played them a few days later. They patted themselves up and then beat us in the league. I can kind of see something similar to that happening. I've been very, very impressed with Steven Gerrard so far tactically. I thought he was going to come in obviously I was watching Rangers the last couple of seasons, but there's always SPL tax a little bit. Like they walk the league. No one was expecting them to have this much of an impact on Villa as quickly. They've been solid, man. They've been very well. They've been very well organized. Played some good football. And they're making good signings as well. I think they're going to be a little force in the next couple of years if he sticks around. So I don't know, man. I don't think you can turn up to this game. You know that already. I don't think you can turn up to this game expecting to get the 3 points or thinking you beat them on Monday, you're going to beat them again. And I do think that they're going to have a little bit extra behind them. The way the United fans are getting on Gerrard at Old Trafford, Villa fans, they're very, very passionate as it is. They've taken to him very quickly. Home crowd, Villa Park. Tight pitch. It's going to be sticky, bro. It's going to be very, very sticky. You might need some CR7 clutching this to bail you out, because I think that's going
to be honest. I think we're going to lose. If I'm being completely honest with you, I've just got that feeling. I can't explain it.
It's too you rarely see teams beat the same team back to back after not playing well as well. I feel like whatever didn't go right for Villa in the first game, they're gonna be looking to iron it out. But to be honest, I don't even think there's too much wrong with their performance, man. It's just the finishing. So if Ollie Watkins has got his shooting boots on, Danny Ings has got his shooting boots on, whoever's starting, they're gonna cause you problems, man. And I was very impressed with Buendia as well. I think he's obviously seen the continuing.
What do you mean Buendia? You mean Buendia, bro?
Buendia.
What was that? What was he talking about?
That was jarring so much.
No.
But Buendia, I was like, who is it? I was like, who's this? Buendia. But yeah, I was very impressed with him. I think he obviously continues coming in. That's what I was going to ask you as well. I was just going to ask you about that. But Digne and Coutinho, do either of those go straight into the team? Coutinho, will Digne, will he be will his paperwork and that be patterned? Yeah, he's signed on he's signed it.
Yeah. I mean, you got up until noon on Friday to
he should. I don't know, man. It's a bit harsh on flipping on Target. I think Target is decent, but Dini's levels. Also, if you buy better, just like it is what it is, isn't it? I think it'll be interesting to see where Coutinho fits into their team. Obviously, he's played a lot of his football on the left-hand side of a front three, but his last sort of 6 months for Liverpool, he played in the midfield three as well as like the sort of Roman number 8. So have you got a midfield of flipping Luiz, McGinn, and Coutinho, bro? That is technically proficient to fucking team.
Douglas Luiz is a ball. I rate him so highly. He used to be. It was at City, wasn't he, for a bit?
That midfield is nuts. That midfield is cool. It'd just be interesting to see if, because Coutinho likes to play on the left and obviously cutting on his right. But obviously McGinn plays on that left hand side. Bro, they've just got. It's just too techie, man. It's too techie.
He's gonna score his classic goal against us. I can tell.
Cut inside. Do you remember the goal he scored for us when we played you lot in the Europa League? He dinked De Gea.
Nah, it's just I think that's when I was in Paris. I think I got licked after that game, you know.
Bro, it's a mad. Like, I'm gonna send it to you after we finish this. Like, just mad. Went through like 2-3 man that got to like near post, just dinked it over De Gea. Like, So he's gonna. I obviously he left Liverpool in like dodgy circumstances, but at his heart, he's still a red in it. So I think it's gonna be an interesting game, man. If he plays, I back him to bag on.
Bro, yeah, I got a bad feeling about it. I got a feeling Maguire's going to return to the back line as well, and I'm gonna be at the game in it, so I'm gonna be in the Villa end. So best believe, bruv, I'm buying a Villa shirt if it goes to the fam.
That's gonna be doing a reaction in that.
But I wanted to I wanted to talk about some of the selection processes at United, like.
Can I just ask you a quick question, actually, just while I've got it in my head? What did you think Varane and Lindelof obviously started their last game? Did you think that was a big improvement on Maguire? Do you is that your back to?
Good question. Thank you for asking that, because actually there's something I wanted to bring up, but I just never did. But so what I really enjoyed about Varane and Lindelof playing together was two touches at the back. It was two touch the whole time. Like if I don't know if you can go back and watch the game, but every time Varane or Lindelof had the ball, it was gone in two touches, and that's been a massive issue I've had. A big issue I've had for Maguire is that he slows our attacks down so bad from the back.
He does that dead little like chop again.
He just knocks it out of his feet, passes it back. Like what I really enjoyed about watching Varane and Lindelof, despite the fact it wasn't a Rolls-Royce performance by any stretch of the imagination. I think arguably Varane may have been like our man of the match. But yeah, what I really enjoyed about it was just the fact that they were just moving the ball along. Like just that, if the ball went to the back four, it was getting circulated, it was going all the way around to the other fullback, and we were attacking again. Obviously, it wasn't the most proficient attacking performance, but I just really enjoyed the fact that they weren't lingering on the ball, and that's something that I think Maguire does too much. He just takes too many touches of the ball at the back. I'll be screaming at him. I'll be like, just release the ball, pass it forward, keep the momentum. Like, we're not sustaining attacks the way we should be. And it's weird to say it comes from the back, but I think a lot of our attacks start from the back. Teams will give us possession and nothing happens. We'll just be bashing our head against the brick wall. And so yeah, I'm hoping. To be honest, I want to see Jones start next to Varane. I know, and this is the maddest thing, because I never thought I'd be saying this a week and a half ago. But Phil Jones has to start ahead of Harry Maguire. Like, I'm not saying he's got to start, but he's ahead of the pecking order. Like, there's no way in hell that Maguire can be behind or ahead of Phil Jones in the pecking order, because he's put in a better performance than Maguire has all season. So. I want to see Phil Jones at least on the bench. Like, if he's fit, I think he deserves a start against Varane. Sorry, next to Varane. But yeah, man, I can't be seeing Maguire. I think Maguire's got a lot of work to do to get back into the squad, and if he returns at Aston Villa at Villa Park, I'm hella disappointed. That's what I can say, bro. I'll be so gutted.
For me, there'll be nothing to really justify it if we're talking on merit. Like. Obviously, he's been out. He's been injured, isn't it? Obviously, he's been injured. But before that, he is on. What's the opposite of form of your life? Like, he's the worst run imaginable, bruv. I don't even know. Like, it's getting to the point where I'm starting to feel sorry for my man. Like, it's just every time he's playing, he looks like he doesn't.
He brings it upon himself, bruv. It's his attitude. It's everything about him, bruv. Everything about him just winds me up. It winds me up, bro. I can't deal with it anymore. And it's just like one of those things where, like, you know, when you just like you spend too much time around someone and they just start pissing you off.
Yeah, you see their name just crop up in conversation. You're like,
don't talk. I can't even say his name, bro.
I said the Manchester United number 5 in that. Like,
yeah,
it's all mad.
But so back to the title, though, reiterating it, make CR7 captain right now because my man has standards. Standards, yeah. You might say he's not the greatest leader or he has a hissy fit every now and then, but my man has standards. Maguire does not have standards. Does not. He does not have standards.
Mad. I mean, I can't really argue with that, to be honest. I cannot argue that at all. Listen, let's get some. Obviously, you said you're predicting an L for United, which is I find quite mad. But what are you saying? Scoreline? Give me your score prediction.
Bro, I've just got this feeling it's going to be an early goal for Aston Villa. It's got to be an early goal, and the crowd are going to be up. We're going to start struggling to pass it around. I'm going to have to explain to my nephew why Man United are dead. I can feel it. I'm just going to go there to enjoy because when you're at a game, you just enjoy it, innit? Like I'm going to be trying
about I said I'm not involved. I'm just here, just family.
But no, man, it's like I think obviously hoping for a win, hoping for a convincing win, like some high pressing. But I can't back this team right now. I can't. Like, I can't back it with my chest and like come across as sincere and authentic. Like I know I'm chatting shit if I say Man United are going to win this game convincingly. Because we've not looked convincing all year, bro. Burnley and Spurs are the only times we've looked convincing. That was it.
Hey, listen, even that Burnley game, they were giving you 1-2 problems.
Yeah, Aaron Lennon scored, bro.
Aaron Lennon was running.
This isn't 2008, bro. What's going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, but like I think I'm hoping 2-1 Man United. I imagine it to be 2-1 Aston Villa. That's what I'm seeing.
Fair enough.
No clean sheet, by the way. No clean sheet.
You kept listen. I don't even want to hear those words associated with Man United. You kept 2 clean sheets all season or something like that. Like, listen. Baby steps, man. Baby step.
But, yeah, go on. Should we move on onto the Liverpool match before we chop up some of the big derbies, not derbies, but the big derby on the weekend, as well as the big the tussle at the top.
Man. Yeah. Obviously, we got Brentford at home. But listen, we need a performance, man. Obviously, the result is very important, but I've not really seen us play well for a minute, man. I'm trying to think when was our last good performance. I can't even tell you, man.
Oh shit! I just clocked. I thought Salah and Mane got rested, but I completely forgot they're at AFCON, innit?
Yeah.
Oh shit! You fucked.
And Naby as well.
That's just your team now. That's just your team for the foreseeable.
Naby's put up back-to-back man of the match for Guinea. He's balling out, bro. Like it's just it's hard to get excited. I think they're back after this game. I think we've got Palace, then the Arsenal second leg, then they're back because there's a little break, I think. But bro, like Paul Merson said it after the game, and he was getting flipping like praise, like you wouldn't believe it. We're not the same team without them two up front. You can say Mane has not been as he's been prolific, to be fair, but you can say he's not been as effective this season. Bro, he's still a problem in it. He's still a problem, and part of that front three, what makes him so good is that they work together in unison. Obviously, Jota's coming now, has done his thing, but bro, like I was watching that game last night, and I'm just it was not exciting at all, man.
You started in the forward positions.
Huh?
Instead of Salah and Mane, who was...
Well, he had Jota on the right, which is not... He's for me, a lot of Liverpool fans say he's better on the left, but I think he's a striker in it. He's not that great in his general gameplay. He's just very... He was a
winger. He was a left winger.
He was a left winger at Wolves. It was a left winger at Wolves. But listen, I think for Liverpool, to be a winger at Liverpool is different, man. You've got to be constantly involved in the game. Obviously, our forwards get a lot of goals, but they also get a lot of assists. You kind of sleep on that. Salah's got the most amount of assists in the league this season. Jota, I was reading today, has got 3 assists in 55 games for Liverpool. So that kind of tells you what you need to know about his general gameplay. In the box, he's excellent. Great finisher, great with his head, great left foot, great right foot. But take out Mane and Salah, it doesn't quite look the same. And he's less effective on the left, in my opinion, and he's even less effective on the right. So we played him on the right yesterday, had Minamino on the left, and Bobby up front.
What would you change out of that team you saw you play? Was it yesterday or
it's last night.
last night? No, what changes would you make if you were Klopp?
It's mad because all of our sort of understudy players are all bit off the left. Minamino, Origi, if he's not on the middle, plays on the left. Jota off the left. We don't have anyone else to play on that right hand side. So
do you stick with Jota on the right hand side then?
You need this. This is kind of where I need to see Klopp switch up the formation a little bit, or try something. Whether we go to diamond and play 2 up top, or just I need to see something different. I can't see false 9, 4-3-3 with this personnel. Personally, I'm not really here for it. So I'll be interested to see what we do tomorrow. Obviously, Brentford will play, not tomorrow, Sunday. Brentford will play with 3 at the back, or 5 at the back, or whatever. So we're gonna need to do something to fashion some sort of chances, because we can't have a fucking stalemate again. Like with City and Chelsea playing tomorrow, we need to win. No matter what that result is, we need to win. Someone's going to be dropping points, most likely Chelsea, so we can really stamp down that second place, kind of make a bit of a title race out of this. Or City drop points, bro, it's game on. But I need to see something on Sunday. Obviously, that game's first, so more time this season. When we've had our rivals play ahead of us, we flopped. We fumbled the bag. City fumble, Chelsea fumble, we fumble as well. So I'm not really confident, man. Obviously, Brentford took 2 points of us last time as well. So listen, we need an early goal. We need a penalty, or we need some sort of like divine intervention. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not confident. If it comes down to 90 minutes open play, I'm not really confident like that about our scoring at all. Like, that's it, man. What can I tell you? The only saving grace is that Brentford have been a bit dead recently. I think Southampton beat them 4-1 on Monday, innit? So like, but it's Liverpool. Everyone turns up against us. We've got the flipping target on our back. Like, what do you reckon? What did you think of us last night? Like, do you think our problems are in plain sight? But do you think we can cope with it in this period without Mane and Salah, or nah?
Do you know what? I've been really surprised by how poor you've been. Poor you've been. I guess that match yesterday, the fact that like the one team you don't want to drop. Okay, 2 teams you don't want to be drop. You don't want to drop to 10 men against is Liverpool and City. You just don't want that to happen. And I was quite shocked by. I don't know. Well, not shocked. It's not really a shock to say that I was surprised by how bad you guys missed Salah and Mane, but more Salah. I think that injection of pace. Obviously, Mane's got that turn of pace as well. But I think I was surprised by how ineffective you guys looked. And I know you can pin things down to the midfield and to the forward players, but I thought you were a team that plays with a system, innit? I thought you were a system team. I thought you could just drop in and drop out players, and well, especially when we were having those injury problems, like I think it was a couple of seasons ago. You were just dropping in and dropping players in here, like Nat Phillips coming in, like Reece Williams and that, like, and you still look like a solid team. And I was just like, fair. They're just a well-drilled team. Liverpool just a well-drilled.
What was the common denominator for all of that? Salah and Mane, fam. Literally, them man do not get injured. Like they, even the madness we were having last season. I think maybe Mane missed like maybe 2-3 games. Salah's that's another thing as well. I'm going to bring this back to FSG for a second if I can. Like, them man want to say, oh, he's approaching 30 and all that. Bollocks, bruv. His injury record is impeccable. He is in mad shape, like mad shape. You know, any chance he gets to take his top off, he's about that. Like, he's not going to be one of these dons who like starts moving a bit mad after 30. Like, he's chasing greatness right now. He wants that Ballon d'Or. He wants all the accolades. He's not slowing down anytime soon. He might not do the same madness he's been doing this season, but bro, he's going to be getting 20 goals a season for the next 2-3 years. Like, I can pretty much guarantee that. So, I don't know, man. What's the date today? It's like flipping 13th of January, 14th of January, halfway through the month. No sign is made. We ain't making any signings anyway, but I don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say. This is going to be a sticky game on Sunday. It's going to be a very, very sticky game, man.
Yeah, and before, I guess I kind of want to lead into the City Chelsea game as well, because obviously this is an opportunity for you to gain some points up on the runaway leaders, Man City. And you still refuse to say that the title race is done, right?
Yeah, it's not done yet. It's not done. I can't say
So
it's done.
how big is this match? I think this is probably a bigger game than was initially expected when the fixtures came out. But now considering the fact that Liverpool are chasing City are going to play against another rival, an opportunity to drop points. Who plays first?
Them man are playing tomorrow. Lunchtime kickoff. We're on Sunday.
So by the time they play, you could be 14 points behind them. Take that one in.
Yeah.
So with that said, are you getting the 3 points against Brentford?
I think we will. Don't ask me how it's going to come, but I think we will. I think it's going to be more of a thing where like Brentford are just they're not really been on it at the moment. So I think we will get the 3 points. But I don't know how it's going to come. It's not going to be. It probably won't be a pretty performance. But we need a result, man. We need that result. We absolutely need that result.
What's your prediction?
We ain't even been keeping clean sheets like that recently. I know we kept one last night, but 2-0. 2-0. 2-0.
Who's getting the goals?
Literally, as you're saying that, I was thinking, right, can we get a set piece? But that's another thing that's been jarring me. Our corners lately have been fucking shit, man. Like Robbo, I love Robbo. You know I love him to the fucking the end, man. Justice for Robbo every time. But I can't see any more corners not clear the first man. Like I can't. And I'm not really a fan of outswing corners as well. But set piece tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, set piece somehow. Van Dijk just gonna do a madness in the box. And then
Van Dijk with the double.
Bro, it might just have to be that, man, because I can't see who. Jota will get one as well.
I said the Van Dijk double and Van Dijk brace.
Jota will get one. Jota will get one as well. He got a brace for us before, 1920 against Brighton.
All I'm saying is, I'm worried about Villa. I feel like you should be worried about Brentford.
Bro, they've already taken points from us this season. Like, I know it's not going to be easy.
That Brentford team is a proper team, man. They're like don't look at the games they play against the lower teams, and this team turns up against the big teams as well. Like they're Tony as well as a player. He's a problem who has something to prove. I think he's a Liverpool fan. Maybe
he's got like 3 league goals this season. Came in big. I rate him, but I haven't really. I thought we'll get like a little first season. Little fluky thing from him. Might see like a little 15 goals, but
let's just see when it matters, when it comes to like crunch time in the Premier League.
Watch him fucking get a winner. Watch him get a winner now. He's a Liverpool fan as well, so you better just remember where he is, who he's playing against, and what's at stake. Yeah, it's bigger than him. We're fighting for the greater good here. We're trying to get that title. So Tony, know your role and shut your mouth on Sunday.
Do you know what? I've just got a feeling they're going to turn up because Brentford kind of remind me of Sheffield United back in that Sheffield United team. Just combative and just fought for everything, and I can just see it. Well, if you win the game, especially with the team that you put out against Arsenal, if you win the game, it will be due to the system. I think it'll be like Liverpool just they just out pressed, they outmanned, they out energies. I think that's not even a word, but like they just do you know what I mean? They just did what Liverpool do best, and they just suffocate teams.
Yeah.
But if Brentford can lay a glove, if they can rough you man up, then I think it's gonna be a problem for you. It'll be a sticky night for you at Anfield, and especially without the inspirational Salah, without Mane, Firmino not in form, Jota getting shoved out onto the right hand side. I think you can have some big problems, man.
Bro, as you're saying this, I'm thinking, everything you're saying could happen, but I can't even say with my chest we're definitely gonna win the game. But I think especially with how the result. Well, it depends on that. If Chelsea beat City, we have to win. We have to win anyway. But if Chelsea beat City, we have to get the W. Like, I don't care how it comes.
But this is banana skin written all over it for me. I don't know.
Trust. And it's got Tony 89th-minute winner, like from madness as well. But I'm confident. I've got that little bit of confidence left in us this season. A few things have got to change. I can't see Milner and Hendo starting in the midfield again. Like, period. Like, I just can't. We need to either be playing. We need to be playing with a progressive 8 if we're going to be playing 4-3-3 like that. Because we need someone who's going to either carry the ball or be able to pick a pass out. Thiago's out, so it's on Ox or Curtis Jones. I'd like to see a start. Curtis,
So who's starting in that midfield then? Who would you be your midfield trio?
Hendo by default, Fabinho and Jones.
Well, do you know what the thing is with Henderson? Seeing as he's your self-proclaimed greatest ever Premier League captain, he might turn it up in the Premier League. He might turn it up
for Liverpool.
Yeah. But he might turn up. He might turn up in the Premier League. He didn't turn up in the League Cup.
Fam, he started. He had a good start to the season, man. He's scored. I think he's got like 2-3 goals this season.
Yeah, he's got that nice left-footed goal. I remember that.
Nice left-footed one against Brighton at home. We drew, and he got another one against Everton as well away. Great assist against United. Like he was doing bits. I think since he went out injured or he had like flu or something.
Was that it? Probably, yeah.
Well, they said it definitely wasn't COVID, but I don't know. We've been a bit weird about how we're announcing that man's doing like false negatives and that, false positives, whatever. But yeah, I'm saying 2-0. What are you saying? You're going for an upset, innit?
I reckon it could be 1-1. I see it 1-1. I see Liverpool leading the late goal conceded.
Anyway, let's just move on to the next game, man.
Alright, cool. So let's. Do you know what? Before I think we're giving Arsenal a lot of airtime.
Yeah,
so
let's do the other game. Should we just do 5 minutes in each game? Because we're hitting the mark, innit? Yeah, we say Chelsea City.
Chelsea City, yeah. That's obviously a big game. It's first versus second, right? Chelsea have to win. If Chelsea do like if it's anything apart from a Chelsea win, I mean maybe a draw's not that bad, but like if it's not a Chelsea, if Chelsea don't win this game, I think they're out of the title race.
Yeah.
If City win this game, I think you guys are out of the title race as well. Potentially just from another club that could take points off City, not taking points off City. I think that's almost a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that. Also, momentum as well. Like you said before, if they win that, they're 14 points ahead of us by the time we play. That's mad. That's in January as well. That's mad. So listen, it's at the Etihad as well, bro. To be fair though, the only games they've lost, they lost away to Spurs, isn't it? But I don't know, man. I can see Chelsea getting something out of this game. They had an easiest game midweek against Spurs. I back Tuchel to do a little masterclass. I don't know how it's gonna come. I don't know what we're gonna see. I can't really, I can't really hedge my bets on it too much. But bro, this is do or die. The whole title race, the whole like integrity of the league this season. You can't let City go 14 points clear, and we've not even reached February yet. Like that, the season will just be dead. I'm not trying. That's just long for everyone, isn't it? So yeah, Chelsea somehow got to get something out of the game. I don't know how it's going to happen. They've not really been free scoring themselves recently, but more time they're going to put up a solid defensive display. 3 at the back, Rudiger in the form of his life. So I think, listen, I think Chelsea are probably the best equipped team to do a number of City in the league, apart from every one of the little teams on any given day. But I think Chelsea can do something. Listen, I don't know if it's just the hope here, but I believe that Chelsea can get something from this game.
Yeah, I think that's wishful thinking slightly, but I think I have been impressed with Chelsea. I think they've played really well every time I've seen them play. They've been the better team in the last few fixtures.
They fucking bossed us the other week.
Even there's a chance, and I think especially Tuchel's style of play, it could be the antidote to Pep's. So we'll see. I still see it being a I see it 2-1 Chelsea. I think 2-1 City.
Pep's not beating him yet, has he? They got them in the FA Cup semi-final, Champions League final. Oh no, they beat him in the league.
They beat him in the league, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying Tuchel's got his number somewhat. Bro, listen, I'm laying it all on the line now. I need to see Chelsea win, man. I need to see it. Nothing else will do, man.
Mate, I mean, if Chelsea, if City win, and is that the title conceded, or are you still hoping?
They will,
because we can come up with some new segments in it. We can do a little, I don't know, like the best of the rest, or.
Man, how are you coming with this much energy from 7th? But
remember, that's my favorite adage now, man. Form is temporary, energy is permanent, brother.
the only other teams that if you're just looking at it on paper, obviously football's not played like that. But if you're looking at it on paper, the only teams you can really say that you can be like, okay, cool, I can kind of bank on them to do something against City is United just because it's a derby, Liverpool because it's Liverpool, and Chelsea. Like that's it. And they've already beaten United this season. Chelsea they've beaten as well. So we're running out of time basically. But yeah, what are you saying?
Just seen a notification come through from Simon Stone. Arsenal have requested Sunday's game with Tottenham should be postponed.
they need what? COVID or what? They need to allow it just because they got no midfield. Exactly.
You cannot talk, bruv. You cannot talk.
I'm not Klopp. I am not Klopp. Yeah, I thought it was just funny in it, but I can't like. That's just a mad one. That to me is a mad one. What exactly got suspended? That they got two of their midfielders at AFCON now all of a sudden because I'm not hearing any COVID outbreaks in Arsenal squad. Like I'm not heard anything about COVID.
It's true.
We need to establish whether we're doing it for injuries, which is a mad one, or if it's COVID or if it's a combination of the two. But it's a bit funny to me right now that teams are just like getting games called off without an outbreak. That's mad. That's really mad. But
that's not right. No.
Listen.
Let's jump onto that game. Did you give your prediction?
Yeah, Chelsea 1-0 win.
1-0 win, fair. But let's move on to the Arsenal Spurs game as we just covered. It looks like it might not be. There's a chance it might not happen, but assuming that it does, Ishmael, how do you see this match panning out? Arsenal Spurs.
Obviously, Spurs got dumped out the Carabao Cup midweek. Already out the Conference League. Their season's it's in danger of just sailing on by, man. Conte already sounds like he's getting a bit pissed off with the quality of the squad, the lack of signing.
Pissed off, bro. I think he joined Spurs pissed off already.
I think he got. I don't know what it is, but Levy seems to be really good at selling these man a dream of peas and.
Did the same thing to Harry Kane in the summer.
Harry Kane, Jose, Nuno, like even Poch. Everyone gets sold the Daniel Levy dream of. We all know my man's tight, like, but still, every man that comes in is like, yeah, we're gonna get funds here, we're gonna get this, that, and the other. I'm hearing they're having to offload like flipping Bergwijn. Who's the other guy they're looking to get rid of as well? Ndombele, and they're only really talking about bringing in Adama. Like that's not it, like at all. So yeah, I think. This is like a top four. This is like a top 4-6 pointer, really, isn't it? Like you man are kind of in danger of slipping away a little bit. If you don't pick up a win against Villa, it's looking very, very sticky for you, man. So this is a big game. Whoever wins this has got a real chance of like putting down a marker. Obviously, West Ham have entered the equation again. They got a good win against flipping. Who are they playing again? Who are West Ham playing? Was it Brighton?
Not Norwich.
Norwich, yeah, that's it. So this is a big game, man. Again, I felt neither team can really afford to draw. I'm backing Spurs though. If the game goes ahead, I'm backing Spurs. I think Arsenal's midfield. Obviously, they've done a number on. Well, they didn't do a number. They did well against us, but their midfield, Jack is out. They've got Lokonga. I'm hearing them. They're going to be talking about flipping trying to get Jack Wilshere to play the game, or Arteta's going to dust off his boots. Like it's going to be looking all mad. So Spurs have got to win, man. Spurs have to win. Obviously, they got embarrassed in the reverse fixture as well, 3-1. So I'm expecting Spurs to win this, man. Home crowd as well.
Home crowd, yeah. They really should. I could see this one being like a
just 2-0 light work.
2-0 Spurs, yeah. I think 2-0. Do you know what? Look, I'm not going to be too hard on Arsenal. I was really impressed with their performance yesterday. Not necessarily their attacking performance. I mean, they weren't bad attacking wise, but I think to see Arsenal due to Arsenal submit request to postpone match due to having insufficient number of players to fulfill fixture. Jokes. But I think with Arsenal, I was impressed with the defensive solidity, and that's something I've been quite critical of them. But going back to what I was saying before, like on numerous episodes of this podcast, Arsenal do not have the squad, and I think the fact that they're trying to get this game called off just says it all. So I'm going 2-0 Spurs.
Yeah, I think if they can't beat this Arsenal team with no midfield, like that's really, really peak, innit? That's very, very, very peak. I'm like, yeah, Spurs should win this comfortably. Arsenal, listen, getting games called off is not for everyone, so you better just be prepared to play that game. But yeah, I should be seeing easy Spurs win, man. And this is a big game, man. This is a big game in the top 4 race, like we said. I think whoever wins this will have a real good chance. I still think West Ham will probably fall away. They're still in Europa League as well, so I think that could be a little distraction for them. But with Spurs and Arsenal both out of Europe, this should be a clear run at that 4th spot for either team. So yeah, man, a draw is obviously good for you, man. But I do think Spurs easy win. They got some making up to do after the last game as well.
Big time, yeah. And on that note, let's wrap up there. I think. Thank you for joining us, people. Whether you joined,
we've got a few people in the chat as well, and that's nice to see.
Nice, yeah. But make sure you're hitting the bell for notifications as well. So whenever we're going live, you guys can stay tuned. Stu, I'm hoping you're listening to this somewhere. But we need you back on, bro. We need you back on, innit? But no, thank you for joining us. It's been Weird and Wonderful, Jamie Vardy's favorite fucking show. And to end things, I've got a little new thing for you.
The news time.